Welcome back to another vibrations here on this BrBpTV, Be Real, Be Positive Television, brothers and sisters. It's about Miss Slicks. We are back finally, guys. And with that said, welcome to each and every one of you guys who tuned into yet another vibrations. Of course, guys, with that said, let us get into the vibrations for today right there. Now, guys, this is apparently episode 2 of the Matthew Walters I Speak the Truth. A number of persons were asking questions, including myself. Why now? And we can see he actually has this there. Why now, brothers and sisters? Why now? Now, I'm going to make the computer read this, or I might as well do it myself. Now, he's pretty much saying, why now? Okay? I need to begin with a quotation of Dr. Martin Luther King stating that the time is always right to do what is right. That's correct. The time is always right to do what is right. But the question I must ask on that question right there, or that statement right there, is the time that you're doing something right going to rectify the damages that you have done in times past? It is always right to do right, true, but have you done so much damage that the time to do what is right might actually not be a good thing? But will your impact of doing right completely remove all the wrongs that you have done in the past? That is always an interesting thing right there. Is it adequate enough? There's a possibility, like, let's say that somebody did something bad to somebody, and as a result, that person decided, you know what, I'm going to spend my life dedicated to try to help the other individuals out there in any way, shape, or form. That bad that person did back then and the good that the person is doing now is definitely outweighing that bad that person has done, and therefore you can say, okay, there's a change of heart. So that's the question I must ask right there. Is the right time to do it now going to completely trump what you have done for the donkey amount of years, for donkey years? That is a good question right there. He stated, when I retired from the electoral political arena in 2014, I decided to enjoy my retirement on the farm. However, the development of the Dominican Labour Party was first and foremost on my mind. Interesting. I wanted to assist. Let me highlight this thing so I will know. Okay. I wanted to assist in the implementation of and bolstering of the party structure, which was deteriorating island-wide. I submit the proposal to the Prime Minister, who commented that the idea was a great one. I never heard from him again until 2017, from 2014 to 2017, when he called to beg me to take up a position as ambassador of the Dominica to Cuba program, I guess. Ambassador to Dominica to Cuba, the position. In the next episode, well, pretty much what you're saying there is you wanted to do something for the Labour Party, not for the country necessarily, but for the party. And I think that's where a number of persons tend to falter. They tend to focus on the party, not necessarily on the country. We want to do something for our party. It's party, as if it's a celebration that is going on, and you have no idea why we are celebrating. Anyways, you saying in the next episode I will detail. So there's another episode coming up. So I'm guessing this is episode 2. Okay. Why now? Anyways, let's try to find out why now. Anyways, during his 6-year tenure in the Republic of Cuba, the Prime Minister visited the communist country on an average of once per year. Mark you, many of the visits I was not privy to, so he pretty much just popped up. Some were unannounced and others were informed through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Cuba. So they did not communicate with you, they communicated with somebody else, and you heard that from somebody else, even though you were the minister or the ambassador to Cuba for Dominica. What a shame, apparently he's stating. Every time he came, I embraced the opportunity to discuss with him the revamping of the Labour Party. Skerrit don't care about the revamping of Labour Party. What are you talking about revamping of Labour Party for? But anyways, I guess that is your plight right there. Revamping the Labour Party, inclusive of organizing the delegates conference. You know, Skerrit is not going to do this. For the time I know Skerrit, I never knew Labour Party had delegates conference. I know UWP had it. I never knew Skerrit them had a delegates conference. I know Skerrit was like, you come out and I'll put my people in. Not even the people are getting to vote for their representative. He's putting people he's putting people in the position and telling these people to vote for that person. And people expect to get great representation. They expect to get the adequate representation that they get when Skerrit wants to do whatever he wants. Anyways, as a result of, as usual, he nodded. He said, okay, cool, yes, let's do it. but never did it. You know, spoken words. People like to talk blage, 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 man, blage, and continuously blage. Anyways, when he visited in 2019, I again reminded him and gave him 5,000 to assist in the process. How you giving him money? I'm guessing you're giving him money from your money to do what he's supposed to do as the leader of the party. Interesting. Anyways, a press conference was hosted by this individual right there. This individual, Vince, and Ian. Ian, who apparently is now taking over the steed of where Walters has left off. So Ian, to inform the public of the delegates conference about the 3-day preceding conference, about 3 days preceding the event. All delegates came to the delegates convention. So there was actually one in 2019 apparently. Delegates convention, but to their astonishment, the activity turned out to be a luncheon ceremony. What a shame. So delegates for the people them to vote, but it was a luncheon ceremony of somebody else, I'm guessing. Okay. So he don't really care about what you have to say, is what he wants apparently, and you don't seem to know this. Anyways, what a sham, he stated. The question is whether the three panelists were not aware of the political leader's betrayal and disrespect for labor rights. I mean, he has been doing this all the time. I mean, if you want to play blind, that's your business. When SKERRIT go out there and say, you know, he's in charge of the Freedom Party, he said himself that he's, you know, a freedomite and he's in charge of the Freedom Party. And then you think he's going to want to do things for the Labour Party? All the best, my brother. When he visited again in 2022, I reiterated my plea, but it fell on deaf ears as usual. So you tried it a number of times. It didn't work and you think it's going to work. Then, okay, good luck. Anyways, from this moment, he began to avoid me. He ignored you, he avoided you, and he decided to not respond to your phone calls. You know, you should have WhatsApp him, baby. You should have WhatsApp text him. Maybe he didn't get the phone call. He missed it. You should have WhatsApp text him. Anyways, he missed your phone calls, did not respond to them, and not acknowledging letters and not responding to WhatsApp messages was working in. Especially if the subject matter was relating to politics. Yeah, SKERRIT doesn't really care about these things or what you have to say about these things. I mean, it's obvious. It is his party. I've been saying this for the longest time. People talk about, Labour Party. I say, no, that's not Labour Party. That is SKERRITites. We are not talking about Labour rights. No, these are SKERRITites. He has bamboozled the people into thinking that they are one and they're supporting something else. Anyways, he avoided the WhatsApp messages, especially the subject matter was relating to politics. This was enough evidence to justify the PM did not want to discuss and implement my idea of fixing a date for the delegates conference. Now, I get the point that it's necessary to have this. So you're checking, okay, guys, we need to have something done to have the delegates conference to make things, you know, that's part of our constitution, you know. But not SKERRIT, don't give a flying donkey. Anyways, from 2014, he has been employing the delay tactics as usual, just like he did the airport. 2014, same thing, you know. As soon as we win election, next day, airport will begin. All right then. Anyways, employ the delay tactics deliberately, primarily to prevent a senior member of the party from being elected as deputy leader. His eyes. So who's the deputy leader of the DLP party? Who is that? Maybe he did not change. I don't know. Maybe he's the leader and the deputy leader. SKERRIT. Anyways, his eyes were casted on Vince. So that's another thing that I'm telling you guys. The man took Vince from wherever he come out. Vince was never performing as a parliamentary representative, nor as an ambassador. He took him. And apparently his eyes is on Vince. So maybe that's why Walters is vexed, because they chose Vince over him, maybe. Anyways, I don't know. My thoughts. What are your thoughts? His eyes were cast on Vince, but he was out of state for most of the period. And moreover, he was not an elected member of parliament. That's probably why Vince came in to then member of parliament. So the Granby people just let Vince take over there. But all you not easy now, boy. Only make a man from St. Joe become only power rep, as if the man from St. Joe would know what the people of Granby really need. And what has Vince done for Granby? Vince come with all the kind of promises, giving people galvanized and what do you call that, window, and lady coming and say, oh, I want a cement bag. Really? You giving yourself up for cement bag and window? But anyways, that is them. His eyes were cast on Vince and he was out of state for the most part, blah, blah, blah. To facilitate Vince to become the deputy leader in order to succeed him, the opportunity arose when the sad transition of Ed Regis occurred. So we know that from my understanding, we were told that SKERRIT did not like Ed Regis and, wanted to pretend as if he, oh, I miss you. So, and now when the opportunity come, he didn't even take somebody from Granby. I mean, Magwesa, to take somebody from your own constituency. I mean, if the people don't want to do it, but at least take somebody from Granby, You take from somebody from St. Joe to become the parliamentary representative of the people of Granby, and the people of Granby let that happen to them. They let that happen to them. Boy, all you do is, Anyways, to facilitate Vince become blah, 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 Prime Minister, Vince was forced on the Granby people who were well qualified to represent the constituency. I'm saying this, Pierre Charles should be turning. No. Pierre Charles is making somersaults and high diving competition in the grave, man. Yes, man. Pierre Charles should be turning in his grave because his people, his Granby people, whom he loves so much, would trample upon and disrespected. Yes, that's high class disrespect for a prime minister to take somebody not of your choosing, but of his choosing in another constituency. And he done nothing for his constituency. If he can do nothing for his constituency, what make you think that he coming to represent you in Granby, he gonna be doing great things? What make you think so? Some of all you just not easy now. Anyways, lo and behold, the PM had a change of heart preceding the promotion of Dr. Irving McIntyre to the Ministry of Finance. I think that was a very foolish thing. I'm not saying Dr. Mervyn McIntyre might not be good in finances, but his career path is medicine. You then give the man awards to say how well he did. If he not broken, well, leave it now. You give him an award to do of say you did a wonderful job in the whole Rona situation, just for next election to come to take him out. Boy, maybe SKERRIT thought maybe he did well in this thing. Maybe you can put him in another category. Maybe. Anyways, promote Dr. Irving McIntyre to Ministry of Finance, hence exposing a novice in such a delicate, difficult, and challenging position. Yeah. What is there any record? This is one of the things I don't understand. Is there any sort of, no record that would indicate that he's good at that and therefore we should continue that? Is there was he an accountant somewhere? Or did he have any sort of accounting ability to manage finance or financial director or anything like that in his history? No, we don't know. Then again, SKERRIT was Minister of Education and he became Minister of Finance. Well, he put himself as that. So I don't understand. And of course, we see how it goes. The economy does flop. But I guess that's what the people want. It is now, quite obvious that the family who can't associate themselves with the Labour Party and clamoring for a change of name, Free Lab Party, SKERRIT Party that day, is definitely earmarked to be the next Prime Minister of Dominica. So I think they're trying to say that they're looking at Irving McIntyre to replace SKERRIT, if that is the case, right there, without going through a delegates conference. Yeah, SKERRIT does what he wants, and you just have to say, yes, sir, thank you, sir, all right, thank you so much, because that's what you guys allowed to happen to you. You have not done it for so long that it's like it's the norm, and if you go against the norm, then what's going to happen? Are you doing something that is abnormal? When something that is abnormal is happening for so long, it becomes the norm, and then what was actually the norm, or what is actually truly the norm, becomes strange when you try to revert the abnormal that has become the normal back to the real normal. So what do you expect to happen? It's going to be like, oh yes, whatever he says goes. So that's what you guys cause to happen. Anyways, this is actually the display of the hegemonic and dictatorial. Why you have to do all this? Hegemonic and dictatorial tendencies. Let me see if I can break down. This is actually the display of one head and well, you guys know what dictator tendencies are. The political leader who continues to undermine the democratic principles and structure of the Dominican Labour Party. The thorny question is, or I think the necessary question is, based off what I'm understanding is going there, can anyone utter his her dissenting voices in his presence on those matters? Well, apparently you try your best. You are part of the elders of the party and you can't do it. So therefore, I don't think anybody else can do it. What do you think? That's the monster Labour Party has. No, that's the monster you have helped create by staying quiet, knowing that there's a need of the delegate conference and it was never done. It was never had. So what do you expect to happen? Magic? No, it's not so magic works. Anyways, to ensure that the strategic plan is well executed, he convinced the senior members of the party to retire. I remember Ian, and what's his name again? Reginald Austri did not want to. He did not want to. But they must have given him some stuff and he decided, okay, I'll take that and boom, bang. But we could tell that Reginald didn't want to go. We could tell. But anyways, they retired, disempowered them politically and returned them to their substantive positions. This is laughable, Walters is saying. Hence, his plan will pass through because he bring the new people in. He bring the new folks in. He will then control them. And then as a result of controlling them, his plan will go through. Anyways, guys, let me just leave this right there. Disempower them politically and return them to the substantive position. This is laughable, he said. Hence, his plan will pass through unhindered because there will be little to no. I mean, I was just saying that a while ago there. I mean, guys, this is the first time I'm reading this stuff, by the way. And I could tell based off certain things that is being implemented or what has happened that this is what's gonna happen. You'll have little to no hindrances, no obstacle block. He will have free range, just go down the water slide and do what he wants. No one to oppose him, apparently. Or there will be no one capable enough to oppose him. Yes, enough is enough. That's why we were wondering, why are the people allowing people to put people in positions to represent them when the people are supposed to be the ones who decide, hey, okay, we have a plethora of individuals, or the Prime Minister can have a plethora of individuals, or if the people want, they can put people there that they know they can represent them, and then they vote. That's what the delegate conference is. Isn't that what the delegate conference is about? But hey, I could be wrong. All right. Anyways, enough is enough. Walters is saying, as I have told you, Laborites, no man is indispensable. That's true. All the wicked people who were in the times past, they either got, or they gone today. But the question here is, I must ask, brothers and sisters, how long must long continue? Not too long, but how long must not too long continue? We always saying, boy, you want freedom, but we don't realize it's the people that need to do these things. The people that need to make the change. Nobody else, not the people that need to do it. And the people don't seem to understand this. Or maybe they understand it, but just don't care. Because they might be getting a little $300 or a little money here and there when they can be making more. People like to see what they can get because it's free. Then they give their total freedom to that which they gave for sense. That's interesting. Anyways, enough is enough. As I've told you, Laborites, no man is indispensable. Whenever your leaders make mistakes, they shouldn't be applauded. Well, I mean, not just making mistakes, but when leaders are telling the citizens that they can send their children and they can send their family members overseas for medical attention, even though within the very same country, that should not be. Mankind is in Dominica. Listening to their leader that they elect to do things for them, including the medical fraternity of Dominica, the medical care. They put them in positions to do things for themselves, for the people, and the leader is telling them that he can send his people them overseas and then ask them, what about you? And the people them clap. So Mesami, even you stating that thing right there, they shouldn't be applauded for the mistakes. But sometimes it's not mistakes that happen, The people are plotting their own demise and they expect something else to change. That's interesting. Anyways, a wrong cannot be right. That's true. But Mr. Walters, you supported the wrong for a long, long time. You said, why now? You speak about the political party, not necessarily country. So if you come to speak, you're only speaking on behalf of the party, not the country. That's what I get there, You want to do things, you want to set up a delegate conference for the party. You're not speaking out now on the basis of helping the country that is in the state that is in, which means that you still might be on the same side of the very prime minister that you're talking about on the basis of not having the delegate conference or because he ignored you. That is what I read in there, Guys, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but all I see there is on the basis of party, not country. And if you will party before country first, you are still in the same situation that you are in. It's not about party, it's about the country, my friend. Country must come first, then party comes second. Because if the country comes first and the party is forming the royal donkey, if you put the party first, you will always stand with the corrupt party that is present. Therefore, it must be the country. And if the party is not aligning with what is best for the country, then you need to take them out. But it seems like your focus is on the party. In conclusion, he's stating, let me again quote Dr. Martin Luther King. Quoting Dr. Martin Luther King does make a difference, sir. Because it seems like your main aim was on the party. To change maybe a deputy leader or somebody. Or maybe put you as deputy leader. Because you didn't get that chance. Kind of sounds like somebody, some Joshua person that I know, who was vexed with the party because he didn't become the leader. That's interesting. But I'll leave that there. Anyways, he quoting Dr. Martin Luther King again. I came to the conclusion that there is an existential movement in your life when you must decide to speak for yourself. Nobody else can speak for you. But you're speaking for the party, not for country. Anyways, guys, he's talking about the next episode. I guess we'll tune in for that. Anyways, guys, if you understand what I'm saying here on this reaction video, give this video a thumbs up if you understand it. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through. And I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. I guess next episode is episode 3 or whatever happens, brothers and sisters. We'll keep it abreast on this. Keep it locked one time, guys. Remember, be real. Remember, be real. Be positive.